Okay, well, hello everybody. Welcome to a live session. We're going live with regards to our videos now, so we're going to be, we haven't got a set time for these, so we're doing this on a Sunday afternoon. We're sitting here on a lovely sunny day here in Christchurch, New Zealand. We're going to cover a couple of things today around health. Okay, so from that aspect. Hey, look, we really appreciate people's support and sharing our videos. There's been a phenomenal result in the last 2 weeks. We've had from our first video over 40,000 views and a number of different shares. So, if you can continue supporting and sharing our videos and stuff to help inspire people about the book, that'd be great. A couple of responses from us for the videos I've seen from people. We just want to talk to you a little bit about our why and why we're doing this. So, we're doing this to share our story to help teenagers think about the long-term implications of what of your decisions throughout life. And Brent, with his situation, he's going to tell you about his health issues today in detail. He's not after any sympathy or empathy from anybody. Okay, he's made his choices on this. What he wants to do is talk to you about the implications of his choices and the health issues, and he wasn't thinking about the long-term implications. So I'll get him to have a chat to you about that in a minute, in that aspect. And I want you to think about time too. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today as well. From my perspective, I've had a great sense of time, and I've learned the hard way to respect time and do things pretty much in the now. But I'm human. I take easy options at times as well. So we'll talk about that. Anyway, look, I'm going to hand you over to Brent, who's going to talk to you about his health situation and how where he is at the moment and how he's ended up that way, because it's it's a fairly tragic story. But again, he's not after empathy or sympathy from anybody. He will hopefully shock a lot of, especially young kids, as to what's happened to him through the decisions he's made. So where do you want to start, Brent?
I can no longer run. I can't walk without a stick, and that has been one of the major costs. Like, money is money, but your health is a different ball game.
How old are you, mate? You want to tell everyone how old you are?
I was 50
in June.
In June.
Yeah.
Thank you. What would I do? What would I do without him?
So just so you know, look, Brent's 50. He was 50 in June. I'm now 52. I was 52 in December. So we're 18 months apart in that regards.
And I'm now paralysed on my right hand side. My hand no longer works. My leg doesn't work. I've lost my teeth. I've ended up with a blood-borne virus that I'm in the process of eliminating, but it's still there at the moment, which is still bloody tragic. And I just, at the age of when I started using drugs and alcohol, I didn't give a shit, and I didn't give a thought to it. I was bulletproof, 10 foot, as you are at 13.
Remember not to swear, mate.
Yeah.
There could be kids watching this,
Yeah.
youngsters watching this.
I didn't mean to. I apologise for that. That was a slip of the tongue. I didn't think, because I was 10 foot bulletproof, 13, and I was trying to escape from a tragic situation of one of our parents passing away that I just could not deal with.
So just to clarify that for someone, if this is the first time you've watched this on a video, our mum died when Brent was 13 and I was 15, and I was the second oldest and Brent was the third oldest child of 5. So and Brent really flipped out. He had a major mental health issues these days. It's recognised as a result of the trauma of mum dying. And this, by the way, this was what, 37 years ago now. So and Brent was put on Valium by the doctor.
Which ballooned into what I am today. Drug addicted. Well, I've dealt with my drug addiction. I'm still using a substitute to assist me through to coming off, and I get tongue-tied like that. Because of my epilepsy and the strokes, I've got big holes in where there should be grey matter. There's not.
We can see the funny side of some of these things, which are quite traumatic, really. It's quite tragic.
It really is. But if I don't laugh at myself, other people may, and that would hurt more.
So from the Valium, what was it about the Valium? I mean, you were very young to be put on Valium. We discussed that earlier, wasn't it? It was
did not feel.
so it was the escapism of your trauma. Is that what it was? You think?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't know how to deal with it. Sometimes death is just one of those horrible things, and that's the end result. If you can, if I continued down the road that I was on, that would have been my path.
So he went from Valium to alcohol.
Poly addiction most of the time.
Can you explain what that is to people?
That is the use of both any drug, alcohol, any substance that I could get my hands on, apart from sniffing petrol or glue, which I do not belittle. I do not say that it's any less as evil, because it's still, if not worse, because of the damage on the brain it does. And I have trouble talking, as you can see. I've lost my teeth. I feel very insecure about talking live, but I get over it.
You're doing well, mate. So don't worry about that.
Just get over it, eh?
That's right, mate. People have been very supportive of you making this sort of stuff. So look, talk a bit more about your health now, Brent. What's happened? So you're 50 years of age. You had what age were you when you had the stroke?
41.
41. He had a stroke at 41. And he's now paralysed down the right-hand side of his body. So, which means he can't walk without a crutch. Okay, he definitely can't run. So he's lost all aspects to most sports. Okay, so unless he starts doing the Paralympic sort of sport, or disabled sports. So that's some further implications to him in that aspect. What about your health? So he was telling me today, actually, we were doing some more research for the book we talked about. You want to tell everyone how many call-outs, how many visits in the ambulance do you have to the hospital last year?
Last year, by June, I had 27 hospital admissions via ambulance.
And that was from a result of what?
Epileptic seizures.
Right.
Because of my intravenous drug use, I have got no veins. They've all collapsed, and if the paramedic can't get a vein to put the particular medication in to stop the seizure, it can go to another stroke or a heart attack.
So so that's quite scary and traumatic for him as well. So look, just think about look and. Tell everyone about what were you thinking about your implications there. I mean, when you're making decisions, to even think about through when you're talking about if you were taking drugs or drinking alcohol or whatever it is. I mean, what were you doing it for? Taking drugs as an example, when you were using.
Get out of it.
Why did you want to get out of it?
Just didn't want to be in that place at that time.
So you didn't want to be in a normal, natural mental state.
No.
What do you think it was that you were trying to escape from?
Reality.
And what was your reality?
My reality was one I was not prepared to work and change or ask for help. I didn't know how to ask for help. I wasn't raised to ask for help. I was raised to pull your socks up, get on with it, just get on with it. And it was, that sort of way is not the way. You don't just harden up.
No.
You ask for help.
I do think kids have these days a lot more avenues for counselling and help and all the other things, but you've still got to be brave enough to ask for it. And that's the key thing, is if you're struggling with things, and this is the message you want to get out to particularly teenagers, but also adults, if you're stuck with something or you're having an issue with things, please ask for help. Ring up, helpline, or there's lots of different agencies out there you can call up, and it's it's not a weakness to ring these people. It's actually a strength. You need to be able to actually, pick up the phone and call someone. It doesn't matter whether you know them or not, and actually ask for some help, because it may stop you from making a bad mistake. Brent's done things where he's taken some drugs and, not knowing what he's done, he's woken up in a either a jail cell or in prison.
Yes, I've done that on more than one occasion, and Neil and I were talking earlier today, and I was trying to recall some of the sentences I'd been in jail for, and some of them I'm a complete blank on. I'm going to have to go back to the Justice Department,
criminal records,
to get my criminal records to find out exactly what the chronographic records are. Even though I know what they are even though I know the offences in my head, I still can't give you dates and times. But in future, I'll be more detailed on lengths of my time at Her Majesty's service, as my dad used to say. Our father was a bit of a cynic.
He was, but he's good. He was great. So speaking about Dad, it brings me on to some of the time stuff. So look, that's a bit about Brent and his health and what he's done. And as I said earlier, he's not after any empathy or any sympathy for that. He's, hopefully I'm hoping that it's actually going to shock quite a few people around, and it started with, just some Valium, and then it got onto alcohol and a bit of marijuana, and just eventually took off from there. And, it's a slippery slope from that aspect. I want to talk to you about time. Look, I remember when I was young, and Brent remembers when he's young, you think you're 10 foot tall and you're bulletproof, and you think you've got many, many, many years left, and 30 years seems such a long way away. I'm sitting here at 52 now, and I still feel like a 20-year-old, but I'm not.
So do I.
And so does Brent. And anyone watching this that's 40 or plus, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You still feel young, but you're not, and your body's not young. And what I want to try and get across to people is a sense of urgency to do stuff, and make the most of your life. If you think about it, if you're a healthy specimen, and the average age of living now, it's a bit different for men. And I think it's about 86 for women and 83 for men. So let's just say 85 years of age. Okay, so if we break that down, that's 4,420 weeks on the planet. That's it. We get one shot at this. Okay, unless you believe in reincarnation. So and how quick does a week go by? How fast does that happen? And then certain times of your life, you're in your prime. So as an example, when you're from about 18 through to about the 30, if you're into sport and stuff like that, you're in your prime. So you've got 12 years. You've got, 12 times 52. So you've got, 624 weeks.
To get that gold.
Okay, to get that gold medal, or to do the best you can. So really, do you really want to waste them? Is it, not going to that training session, not giving you that, putting the commitment into whatever training you're doing, okay? Same with you when you're at school, at high school, if you think about it. You're at 4 years at high school, it was 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th and 7th form, so 5 years, sorry. So these days it's called year, whatever it is, 9 through to 13 or whatever it is. So, you got 5 years there. If you stay for the whole 5 years, that's 260 weeks. That's it. And you're not even at school for all that. You've got school holidays as well. So what does it take to commit 100% to do the most you can in the time you have? Going to varsity. If you have to go to university afterwards, you've got 3 years for your degree, another couple of years for your masters. If you do that, you've got PhDs, depending on what level you want to go to. So look, if you're going to do this stuff, guys, please, I hopefully want to give you a sense of time frame, because,
it's quick.
It goes quick. It does go quick. Ask yourself the question, how fast does a week go in your life? Well, you only get 4,420 of those.
One of these, man.
Brent's got a crutch there, yeah. Now, so think about that. Think about how quick time goes, and if you're going to do stuff, why not give it 100%? Why not, do what it is you want to do? Because, let me ask you, do you want to be sitting on your deathbed and saying, if only, I wish I'd done this? Now, we're all going to be in that situation. We'll all have regrets, but we can't change the past, but we can certainly change the future. So regardless of how old you are now, the things you're doing moving forward, putting things right. For me, on the health side of things, my biggest challenge at the moment is my weight. So I had a great time for about 15 years in the UK. I was over there with business and, travelling the world and seeing things, and I let go of the fitness regime a little bit, and which is quite ironic for me, because I was, a physical training instructor in the military. I was in an elite group of people. I was super fit when I was in those days, playing semi-professional rugby league, Started off with Hallsville here, played for Glenora Bears, played in representative teams. That's all in my book and stuff as well. But, you know, I let all that health and fitness slip, and I put on about 15 kgs over 15 years. And I'm now, for the last 3 years, I've had a bit of a battle losing it. Okay, so, you know, I know I could have lost it within that time, but I've had some discipline issues around that, holding my hand up as well. So we all have our own challenges, you know, so what is it for you? So look, thanks for the people that have come on this video live. Feel free to make questions and, you know, give us a like and share the video as well. But again, look, we had quite a few questions posted last week from our last video. Feel free to post any questions or comments up here as well, and please do share it. What's interesting, I've had quite a few organisations contact us in the last week even about us coming to speak there. So we're very interested in having a chat to anyone that wants us to come and speak. We've just got some mobility issues with Brent at the moment, but we're sorting those out from that aspect. But we're very open to actually, even if it means a video or going, you know, online with people or whatever it is. And this doesn't have to be in New Zealand. It could be in the UK. It might be in the US. As long as it's an English-speaking country, they can understand what we're saying. That's fine. Okay, so yeah. You got anything else to add? You want to add to
just like just try and be aware of your next choice is not the last choice, because it's possible it could be.
Yeah, so, you know, the things we do in life, you know, what's the short, medium and long-term implications of that? You know, so, you know, as an example, me overeating. Now, I didn't monitor it. I'm much more aware of it now. Anyone that's lost weight in the past, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, it's a very difficult thing. Well, it has been for me. I'm not saying it's difficult for a lot of people. My wife sees to lose weight very easily, okay? But, you know, so, but once you do lose it, I know you get a lot more protective of what you eat and you're a lot smarter about that aspect. You know, for Brent, from his health side of things, it's a constant battle, isn't it, Brent?
Yeah, well, I can't. I just don't, I'm not able to put, I'm not able to keep my health together. I get my head around one thing and it falls out the other end. I don't know how to, I know what I'm trying to explain, but I struggle trying to explain it.
Yeah, okay. So
that's all the holes there.
So yeah, just think about your short, medium and long-term implications of those. And, you know, one of the things we're going to have in the book with a link on our website for this is, you know, a little wee form for you to go and check those things out if you want to go through that. And it's a great little, like a little wee counselling tool for yourself, but you can use it for others as well. Get people just to set your RAS. Now, what's your RAS? You might be thinking, well, in our brain, we've got what we call the compass to our brain. It's called the RAS, which is the reticular activating system. And a good example of this is, well, just to get you to understand what it is. So think about the last time you bought a car, okay, and what it might have been a used car or a new one. But, you know, when you got that car, didn't you suddenly notice a lot more of those cars on the road? Okay, and that's because your brain's been switched on to recognise those opportunities. Well, the same, you know, or I remember when Sally was pregnant, you know, we suddenly noticed all these other pregnant people around the place when they were always there, we just weren't switched on to recognise them, you know. So the whole aim of a little questionnaire around short, medium and long-term implications, benefits and consequences for the decisions you're contemplating just really sets the RAS, puts you through this exercise where you're checking out and setting your reticular activating system to think about those things, so it becomes more of a habit for you when you're doing these things. Anyway, look, that's enough for today. Thanks very much for your participation and watching this video. And we're going to try and do one a week. It might not be that frequently over time because we've got a few things coming up and doing things, but we're going to try and do one a week, either on a Sunday or midweek during the evenings here in New Zealand time. Again, any questions, post them on here and we will endeavour to answer them. So thanks very much for your support and your time. Please continue to like and share our videos. We value your support and we appreciate your support as well. I'm overwhelmed really with the response we've had. You know, 40,000 views on the first video in the first 2 and a bit weeks was a phenomenal result. Okay, so thanks again for your support.
If you've got any concerns for anyone close, ask them if they need to talk with you. Don't hesitate, because please ask them.
If you know anybody that's having issues or you think they're having issues, share this video with them and let them listen to Brent. You know, and if they look, you want to ask questions to Brent, feel free to just post them on Facebook. We don't need just, you know, PM messages. Brent's not on Facebook at the moment. You can post them up on there. We're very open and transparent about all this stuff. So please make sure you post them on the Facebook page, and we'll share them for the betterment of the world. That's on the page as well. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. Have a fantastic week, and you know, make your week count. Remember, 4,420 weeks. If we live to the age of 85, every one counts. So make every day and every week count. Have a great week, guys. Cheers.